Hey folks, Cornell with YouTube Fishing Vids. I'm up in the mountains again, and I'm on Lake Habeeb in the Rocky Gap State Park for the first time on the Pelican. And I got the first bass of the day, and it's a largemouth. I was hoping for a smallmouth, but I'll take it. Absolutely, I will take it. Super clear, beautiful mountain lake that rivals my local lake about an hour and a half from here, southeast. And there she is, Lake Habeeb. Largemouth on a Ned rig. I'm going finesse, folks. Don't worry about me being redundant today, because this is the way it's going to happen. I did a little top water for a minute before the sun came up over the mountains, and it's the known thing out here. It's a reasonably small lake. It gets a lot of pressure. I am the only one on this lake right now. There's not a soul, not a kayaker, not a canoeist. It's midweek, and I am loving it. So stay tuned. We're going to hopefully get on some largemouth, prayerfully some smallmouth today. Oh, 2 casts in a row off a point, folks. That's all this is. It's the main lake, a little rocky point over here. I pulled over and I broke out a Ned rig, and that's 2 casts in a row. So it's a dink, but it tells the tale already. It's fairly early. It's probably about 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun is up and the sun is hot. It's going to be a blazer today. We've had, this is the 3rd day in a row with pushing 90-degree heat. They say it's going to be maybe mid 80s to 90 up here, but that saves me about 5 degrees from what I'd be dealing with a little farther south and out of the mountains. So here we go. Okay, well, the point's producing. It's not a big one again, but I'm finding the fish pretty quick. Hopefully I'll be getting on some bigger ones here shortly. Let's see what we got. Let's see if it's a smallmouth. Oh, it's a smallmouth. I'm loving it. Look at that. Woo! All right, now I'm happy. That's a day maker. Honestly, it is a tough call. It is a tough call in my area to come up with smallmouth bass unless they hit the Potomac River. And when it comes to smallmouth bass in a lake, unbelievably rare. I gotta go all the way up to Deep Creek Lake to come close. So this is one of the main reasons why I'm here, folks. Smallmouth bass on a mountain reservoir. You can't beat that. I am so psyched. So largemouth and smallmouth on the Rocky Point. Thank you, Ned rig. So I found the smallmouth on the deeper side of the point. I was thrown up straight to the bank on this point and found the largemouth. My first cast out into the deeper water off the drop came up with a smallmouth. So that's where this cast just landed. So let's see if we can pull it off again. All right, well, this lake is known for mega vegetation, and this point has tons of it. There's a little hole here and there where it's just straight rocks, but the Ned rig is an open hook design. So with the open hook, I'm getting hung up in the grass or the weeds or the whatever crazy kind of vegetation that is underneath the water, and I'm hitting up those rocks too. So I'm banging into some rocks and getting hooked up, and fortunately I haven't lost the Ned rig yet, but it's time for a drop shot. So the drop shot's going to stay above the weeds, stay above the rocks, and that's going to help me collect a couple more bass and hopefully another smallmouth or two. So I'm going to stay on this point and work out the drop shot. Considering where I live and considering I'm here in the mid-Atlantic, Maryland specifically, my drop shot is virtually Texas rig 90% of the time. With the vegetation I have and the type of cover that I deal with, and the fact that I use the drop shot up shallow, the fact that I've got super clear water, that's a Texas rig deal. And of course with the weeds and the rocks, that's going to keep me out of the cover and keep me hooking fish, not rocks and weeds. So that's what I'm dealing with on my drop shot. It is so calm out here. I don't know if I've ever experienced a day this calm fishing. I could probably feel the breath of a chipmunk on the bank right here. Whoa, as I'm sitting there talking to you about how dead calm it is, and as I load up on what feels like a very good fish. Wow, this is like the 3rd cast with my drop shot, and it's digging. Now there's a lot of grass down there, so he's in there. Nope, it's a nice fish. Check that out. Beautiful. I love it. Is that a largemouth? And it is a largemouth. Decent little fish. Nothing crazy. Just felt a little heavy because I've got that grass situation. Now look at this stuff. It's like a, you know what? I should know my submerged grasses, but guys, if you know what that stuff is, it's like a cabbage grass of some sort. I can't tell you what that is because I don't fish up here. This is the first time I ever fished in here, and I've seen this grass, but I've never really fished in it. So you guys tell me what you think that is. And there's my first drop shot fish, literally on my 2nd cast with a drop shot. All right, that's the good gig with grass like that. And there she is, the morning dawn, 6-inch straight tail robo worm, 1/8 ounce tungsten. Not too long a leader, and again, this rod and reel is set up with 5-pound test, folks. I am ultra finesse, but it's a really good fluorocarbon. This is Sunline Sniper, and it is sprayed up with some really good Real Magic. I just got the Real Magic on there to keep the memory out of it, keep the casting perfect, and it is a Top Shot. It's a 1.5 casts of line. I do have the 10-pound test SX1 Sunline braid underneath attached with an Albright knot, but that is a full 1.5 casts, like I said, of fluorocarbon. So I basically have all fluorocarbon in the water. There's no braid. I've done it plenty of times where I've had the leader routine going on, but I'm casting pretty much all fluorocarbon in this case. And why do I have a Top Shot of 5-pound test on this specific reel and rod setup for my drop shot? Is that this combo is interchangeable for my spy baiting. Spy baiting, if you don't know what spy baiting is all about, I'm going to put a link in the description below. You can watch a couple of my spy baiting videos from last season and maybe the season before. Incredible option, especially post spawn when those fish go suspended in the water column and get really lethargic. So 5-pound test is an absolutely awesome option on a drop shot rod for spy baiting. So take a look down in the description below, check out a couple of those videos, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Something very important for you folks to know if you do choose to go ultra finesse like this and really downsize your line. That 5-pound test fluorocarbon, 6-pound, even down to 4-pound test, be sure you're using a really good line conditioner. That really keeps the memory out of the line, keeps the casting super smooth. And I gotta be honest with you, I've done a lot of fishing with the braid to leader combo on my drop shots. I don't know what it is. I think there's a chance that on ultra clear water and with really heavily pressured lakes like this, that all fluorocarbon in the water from the top of the water all the way down. You never know where those fish are, what they're doing. Sometimes that braid in that ultra clear water, even though it's 2 feet, 3 feet, however long your leader is up the line, who knows? It could be seen, it could be distracting the fish or turning the fish off to a slight degree. Also, because fluorocarbon sinks and braid floats, there's a good chance that you're getting a little bit different action under the water with all of that line sinking, getting way down underneath the water column, working with that drop shot. The way that robo-worm's working or the way that drop shot's working could be influenced by the fact that you have nothing but fluorocarbon in the water. So it seems to me that when I've worked my drop shot setup with a Top Shot or about 1.5 casts worth of fluorocarbon, meaning I'm only throwing fluorocarbon on my drop shot, I've just seemed to have better luck. So try it out. If you've gone through the whole gamut of ideas and doing the braid to leader combination, go ahead and try just a whole Top Shot of fluorocarbon on some ultralight line. If you're really challenged or you really have a tough lake to fish, it might make a little bit of a difference. So here's the challenge. I've got weeds and I've got rocks. So when it comes to the shape of your sinker for drop shotting, ideally, if you're going to be in rocks, you want an itty bitty little round ball. That's a little round ball lead. It's not even tungsten. It's just, I know I might be getting hung up in here and throwing some leads a little bit more reasonable price-wise. But when it comes to weeds, that cylinder style that I throw a lot in a lot of my other videos with weeds is an ideal situation. A good happy medium is a teardrop style. And I was actually just throwing a teardrop, but that little, tapering head leading to a fatter body, it got wedged and I actually just lost that sinker. I had to re-rig. So knowing that I have rocks and I'm actually targeting the rocks, trying to stay on the edges of the weeds, I went to that little round ball. The round ball just kind of gets through those crevices, bounces over the rocks a little bit easier, and may help me not get hung up as much, we hope. There we go. Oh, a little bank beating over here. I love it. I came off the point, got myself another little largemouth. Awesome. That was only 2 casts coming along this bank, which is great. Chunky fish, I love it. Let's get you down to see if you can avoid tangling up the drop shot. Just a little bit of shade back here still as the morning progresses, so we're doing pretty good on Lake Habeeb. I'm loving it out here. I am seeing a whole bunch of empty nests. I figure these, most of these largemouth are probably in post-spawn stages right now. I just saw a huge field of bluegill nests, so that also tells you something. Those bluegills tend to spawn after the bass. So that kind of tells the tale, but I'm cruising these shallows right now. I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I see a few bass. The water is so clear, so I've got all kinds of opportunity to pitch something to something if I end up seeing a late spawner. So I'm just gonna cruise along here and see if I can find something to play with. There's one. Oh, he's just hanging out, spooky. Gosh, I'm pretty far away from him. They're spooky. There's a little bite, nothing major. Well, he's running though. Jeez, what do we got here? Looks a little different. What is it? Is this a giant bluegill? Oh my God, folks, look at the size of this bluegill. Are you kidding me? Like I said, well, I don't know if I said it earlier, but I saw some huge, oh my gosh, look at this bluegill. Folks, I'm telling you, this place is known for some giant bluegill, but look at that slab of meat of a bluegill. Absolutely gorgeous on a Ned rig. So there you go. That's what's going on right now. These big bluegills are making their nests. It's their turn. So a lot of bluegills up shallow, and I like my Ned rig. There we go. Oh, I almost missed my handle. What do I got? Oh, it looks a little brown. Is it a smallie? Is it a smallie? Is it a smallie? Oh no, it's another largemouth. Another nice largemouth though. That's a good one. Awesome. Look at the colors. Wow, he's beautiful. Isn't that great? Look at the dark stripes on that one. Isn't that great? Absolutely beautiful mountain bass. I'm going back and forth between the Ned rig and the drop shot. When I'm finding clean bottom, not so much weeds and cover that's going to get hung up in this open hook, I'm throwing the Ned rig. When I start getting on those weed edges, I'll break out that drop shot. As of right now, the green pumpkin Ned rig's working, the morning dawn color and the robo worm's working, so far so good. Oh, we got a pretty little snake here, folks. Looks like just like brown water snake. Beautiful. Found myself a garter snake the last time I was out. Here we got a little brown water snake. Awesome. Oh, what a hit. Awesome. All right, folks, like I broke out a moving bait and got myself a really nice fish here. Decent, at least the way he hit. It's a nice largemouth and not a smallie, but great fish. And wait till you see what I caught him on. Great bass, underspin. I broke out a moving bait, but a finesse one. Let me show you this thing. Great fish, great bite. That felt awesome. Popped it. All right, check this out. Beautiful mountain bass on a moving bait. I put away the Ned rig. I put away the drop shot for a minute. The breeze picked up just a hair, and take a look at that beauty. There it is. This is Swarming Hornet. Fish head spin, one of the originals, and that's a 3.8 Kitech swing impact fat. That's the IU color. So what I did is I downsized the swim bait fish head spin underspin combo, and it's an IU color with a tiny little dip, just a tiny little dip in chartreuse, giving it that little bluegill tail flash, and that itty bitty little finesse swim bait with an underspin. Just got the first moving bait bass of the day with a little breeze. Hopefully there'll be more to come. So let's see if I throw this around a little bit more and pop a couple more. That was only a couple casts in. So all I'm doing is paralleling the bank. I've got about 6 to 8 feet of water and then the weed edge. So they're right on the weed edge. They're just coming up. They're going to ambush the swim bait right out of the weeds coming up on the bank. So just parallel the bank, let it go down about 2 to 3 feet and 6 to 8 feet of water and a slow crawl and bang. Hopefully that'll happen again. There we go, number 2. I just turned around and threw towards the point, popped another one. Nice fish. Wow, I love it. Nothing like an underspin, just creeping it, crawling it right in front of their nose. They can't stand it. That's a nice bass. Awesome, check it out, moving baits on a pressured lake. Love it. And if you're gonna do a moving bait, folks, these subtle little swim baits with a itty bitty little blade is the way to go. All right. Drop shot fish. Oh, it feels pretty decent too. Awesome, nice one. All right, so I worked there's fish jumping all around me. So I'm working the main lake point here with the drop shot. I moved halfway back in the coves and got some fish on the moving baits. This is a better fish right here. Pretty decent fish on a drop shot. Green pumpkin. I changed up. Oh, look at the birthmark on this guy too. Isn't that pretty? Wow, look at that guy. Awesome. Look at the spot on him. Isn't that great? That is so cool when they got those markings right there. Yeah, decent fish, green pumpkin, dip tail, just a little bit of chartreuse, again, kind of emulating the tails on those bluegill that are in here. And these bluegill are in here. They are spawning, they are up shallow. So the fish are everywhere from an inch down to 13, 14 feet from what I've found so far. So a lot of numbers, another numbers game over here. Oops. As I was saying, numbers game, guys. Let's see if we can find the big ones. We're still working here. Awesome, there we go. Working the points, guys, I'm telling you. Main leg points on the drop shot, the wind's picked up. I'm keeping up with my bait. I've moved up to about a 3/16 ounce lead. I'm normally using in more shallow water about an 1/8 ounce, but with this wind, I've bumped it up a little bit, and there's another nice fish. There we go. Gosh, it's just a moderate dink fest, but guys, in the comments below, I asked this question back when I had a monster day working a whopper plopper on a little pond out in Chicago. Would you love to have a day like I'm having today, or would you rather catch like 2 or 3 big ones? You know, I feel like I'm gonna catch a couple decent fish, but in between those decent fish, I am not complaining about catching a dink here or there, or a decent little chunk like that. You can catch those all day long, keep yourself busy. The big ones will come. All right, swimming at me. Oh, you never know until they pull back. It's not pulled back very much yet, but just another chunky drop shot fish right on the weed edges all day long. This is just gonna be a non-stop fun fest of fishing. It's not necessarily gonna produce a lot of big ones, but again, these are small reservoirs. These are heavily pressured. There's a bunch of big ones in here, but they've seen a lot, so I gotta do what I gotta do to trick them. So let's see if we can find one of them. There we go. Right by the dam. I love it. Oh, it feels like a good fellow. Just got the weeds. Right on the edge of these weeds and these rocks. I love it. I hope it's a smallmouth. And it's another largemouth right here by the spillway. I love it. This is great. Let's see. First cast down here. All right. Numbers again on the drop shot. So hopefully I won't go over this dam, but they're right next to it. All right, I'm right by the bridge, and let's see. Oh, there's number 2 smallmouth, finally. I knew I was coming down here by the dam for a reason. I was really surprised I actually got that largemouth over there by the dam. But here's smallmouth number 2. Awesome. Got a bad eye on him, but it's a smallmouth. It's a little brown fish. Gosh, it's such a treat. I love catching smallmouth, and it's just a rare thing. So there he is with a little bad eye on him, but there should be more in here. So let's work this dam and this jetty wall right here, see if we can come up with some more. It's amazing when it hits the water, they just whack it. What the heck? I don't think this is a bass. I really don't. Oh my. Seriously, guys, prepare yourself if I don't lose this fish. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Do not get off. Are you serious? Guys, I'm telling you right now, that is a trophy bluegill if I've ever seen one. Holy cow, this thing is freaking huge. Look at this bluegill, folks. That is no shell cracker, no red-edged sunfish. That is a straight up. Well, then again, wait a minute. That is a shell cracker, isn't it? No, it's not even red-edged. Guys, name that panfish. I mean, I thought it was a bluegill, and I think it still is. I don't know. You guys tell me. It doesn't look like a red-eared sunfish. It could be a shell cracker, which they call red-edged sunfish. I don't know, but it's huge. Look at this thing. It's absolutely gigantic. That is just a huge panfish. Whoa! And there it goes. Unbelievable. This place has got some crazy, awesome fish in it. There we go. That was a little better fish. Good deal. This is where it's a little crowded over by the resort. Rocky Gap Casino and Hotel, a couple restaurants. This place is awesome. Got some great bass fishing, camping, all kinds of great stuff around here. And happily, it's not too far from my house, just an hour-and-a-half drive, so nice little getaway for a day. Oh boy, I finally got a bigger one, folks. Finally got a bigger one. Right in the shadows of the resort. Everyone's hanging out, music's playing. Pretty awesome. Yeah, it's not that much bigger, but it is a decent fish. I'll take it. There goes my robo worm. They always seem a little bit bigger in that clear water, but that's not a bad fish. I am fishing with a smaller hook and a smaller robo worm. I don't know if you mentioned that, but I got that last smallmouth over by the dam, and I lost 2 fish on a 1/0 hook with a 6-inch roboworm. So I downsized to the little #1 rebarb hook by roboworm and put the 4.5-inch roboworm on. So I've been fishing with the green pumpkin, and now I'm back to the Morning Dawn at a 4.5-inch. So let's keep it going. There we go. Now that's a better fish, and this might be a smallie too. Oh, it's a nice smallie, good deal. All right, let's get it. Oh, come on, don't get off. This is a good fish. This is making my day right here. This is exactly what I've been looking for all day. They are so much more aggressive than the largemouth. Get over here. Get over here. You know, I'm taking a chance, and I did it. I took the chance and I did it on my 5-pound test. This is, again, is an absolute day maker. I'm trying to stay quiet because I got people behind me. I'm not trying to make a fool out of myself, but I could be because I am so psyched right now. And there is my smallmouth bass, Lake Habeeb. All right, let's go on back. Always by the boat dock, guys. It feels like a nice one. God, if it's another smallmouth, I'm gonna be so psyched. God, let's see what I got here. It's digging. It's digging a little bit. It feels a little bigger. That or it's just a bigger, stronger. Yeah, it's a largemouth. So we got largemouth, we got smallmouth, and we got some great fishing today. There it is. That change up to that Morning Dawn just switched things up real quick. Very, very cool. Numbers, past couple videos. There we go. Awesome. I broke out the PB&J. The sun is out. I see so many bluegills on beds. That little bit of purple in the PB&J just worked perfect on the Ned rig. So that's a pretty chunky bass. Awesome. Man, it's been nothing but numbers all day. No big fish, smallmouth, big crazy sunfish, bluegill, red-eared sunfish, whatever that thing was. And guys, it's been absolutely phenomenal being out on Lake Habeeb on an absolutely beautiful afternoon. There's a threat of thunderstorms coming. I can see some dark clouds moving in over the mountains, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it. It's been absolutely phenomenal. So folks, as always, I appreciate you joining me. As always, I appreciate you subscribing. And until we meet again, over and out.